reality is not perceived. Reality is created. Okay? Reality is something that we create through the facts that were presented in our life. So we create our own personal reality by the facts that we're presented with that are in our life. So, for example, is by selectively putting your attention on something or a certain experience of your life, you create your own reality. It's kind of like two people can go to the same real estate event, right? They both go to the same event, they both see the same speakers, they both learn the same thing, but when they come out, they have two different views of what they just saw or how impactful it was. One might be, oh my God, I'm so motivated to move forward. The other one's like, not so much. And even though they both just saw the same real estate event, they have two different reactions to it because they just created their own realities from that event. So it's kind of like you shape your own personal reality by the things that you perceive to be true in your life. So, example, if you're telling yourself that you can't do this, or you're telling yourself that you can't, that you're not going to be able to make it, or you're telling yourself that there's no way, you have self-doubt, or you're allowing fear to stop you, you're creating the reality in your life. Through the things that you're perceiving as true. So if you keep telling yourself and you keep saying negative things day in and day out, and you keep telling yourself, I'll never do this, it's not going to work, I'll never make it, I'm always going to stay broke, it's just the hand I was dealt. You keep telling yourself that, and you're going to create that reality for yourself. You're going to create a reality of dysfunctionality. You're going to create a reality for yourself, for your life, based on the things that you're telling yourself. But if you turn around and you start telling yourself positive things and start putting positive things in your life and saying, you know what, I got this, and feeling confident and feeling empowered, you're going to change your whole reality. You're going to change your personal reality of your life, and you're going to get stronger, and you're going to be able to do things better. And it all goes back to kind of like, do you remember the day that you decided you were going to do real estate? And I always go back to that day, because that day that we step up to get involved in real estate, that day that we have the hope and we have the empowerment, and we have, the encouragement that we've given ourselves, that day that we stood up and we said, you know what, I'm going to make money in real estate, I'm going to be successful, my God, I'm going to do this, and you started to get so encouraged by it. That day, that was a reality that you created for yourself. You created a powerful reality where you felt you could do anything, right? Where you felt that you could do this in your life. That day, your reality, that day that you stepped up to join that program or join that event or buy that book, that day you had hope. And that day you created a reality for yourself that was powerful and positive, right? But then what happens is throughout the time, and you start learning the strategies and doing the things, and all of a sudden it gets harder, and you start to come up against these roadblocks, and all of a sudden you're creating a reality for yourself, of your own personal reality, that, it's getting hard, I don't know if I can do this. All of a sudden your reality's changing. Things are changing, right? As you're going through the grind, and you're starting to put things into play, and you're trying to implement the strategies in your real estate market, all of a sudden your reality changes, right? Because it starts to get tougher, right? You're not so enthusiastic anymore. You're seeing the reality of it. You're seeing that the reality of this is you got to now take these steps, and you got to do it, and you got to make it happen, and there's going to be some roadblocks, and you're starting to see the reality that has changed from the first reality that you saw the day you stepped up, right? So what I'm saying, whole bottom line is, you know what? You create your own reality. So when things start to get tough, you need to hold on to the hope that you had that day that you stepped up and signed up to be involved in real estate. When things start to get tough, instead of creating a reality for yourself of, you'll never be able to do this, or self-doubt or fear, create a reality of yourself like, this is it. It's getting tough, but I can do this. I can move past this. I got this. Start encouraging yourself and creating that reality for yourself that says, you know what? I got this. I can handle this. This is my reality. So you're going to create that reality for yourself as you're going through the stages or the steps or the process of real estate investing or wholesaling, right? So you need to hold on to that reality that you created for yourself in the beginning. The first day that you stood up, and I always go back to this, the day you stood up and said, you know what, I'm going to do real estate. I'm going to get involved in real estate. Hi, Kim. That day that you stood up and said, you know what? Today I'm encouraged. Today I have hope. Today I have, encouragement that says I'm going to be able to do this. So the day that you stood out and said, I'm going to take real estate to the next level. I'm going to use real estate as that vehicle that's going to give me the success that I want in my life. That day you created a reality for yourself that was powerful, right? Guys, I know you guys just stepped on. I've been doing this for a little bit now. I've been talking about our reality and how we create our own reality. Reality isn't perceived. It's created by the things that you see as true in your life. Reality, your personal reality, is created by the things that you perceive as truth. And I was just talking about how you can change your reality by changing the things that you believe is true. Okay? Hi, Kim. So in reality, if like the day that you stepped up to become involved in real estate was one tip that I put on there. That day that you stood up and you said, this is the day that's going to change my life. You were hopeful, you were encouraged, you were powerful, you felt good, right? That was your reality that day. But then as we go along and we start putting the steps into play and we start putting things into action and we're in our real estate market and you start doing it, you're like, oh, wait, the reality becomes, it's a little hard, right? It's not as easy as they made it out to be, right? So your reality starts to come in and says, you know what, this is hard to do. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe, your self-doubt's kicking in now and things are starting to change. So your reality is changing. But you can you need to change your reality by saying, you know what, you can either let it become your reality where it's negative and it's saying it's going to overwhelm you. I can't do this. I'm going to quit. I got to get done. This is too much for me. That's the reality you're creating. Or you can say, you know what? I know I can do this. I got this. I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to change this. I'm going to do that. I got this. And be empowered. That's the reality you're going to create for yourself. So wherever you are right now, whatever reality that you're living in, what I'm trying to say is you can change your reality. You can change what you perceive as truth. And, the example that I gave in the beginning here was, you know what? Did you ever see those reality headsets that you put on, right? Those reality headsets, you put the reality headset on and all of a sudden you step into a whole new reality, right? Did you ever see those? My kids have them with their games. They put these headsets on. It's called virtual reality. And all of a sudden, their reality becomes, whoa, they're on a battlefield and they're shooting their enemies. And, their whole reality changes of where they are and what they're doing. And they feel powerful. And, that whole reality changes. But when you take that headset off, you're back to your own reality and you're starting to perceive the truth around you. And you know what? That reality that you create for yourself, reality is created. It's not perceived. Reality is created by the facts that you're presented with, right? So whatever facts that you're perceiving as truth, that's how you create your own reality. So wherever you are right now, whatever you're dealing with, you have the power inside of you to change what your reality is, right? So it's kind of like by selectively putting your attention on certain things in your life, that's how you change your reality. By selecting what you're going to focus on, by selecting what you're going to put all your attention on, that's how you determine your reality. So when you're going through things in your life and things are getting tough and the grind's getting a little hard, what are you focusing on? What are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the outcome, the end result, or are you going to focus on the grind? Because if you're going to focus on the grind without seeing that reality of the end result, it's going to push you down and it's going to make you powerless and it's going to keep you back, right? So what you believe as your reality, right? So what you believe as your reality, what you perceive as your reality is what that's what you're going to have. Your personal reality is created by what you perceive as truth in your life. So if you perceive yourself to be defeated or weak or you doubt that you can do it or you doubt that you can take that step up, that becomes your reality, right? So whatever you're perceiving in your life right now definitely becomes your reality. So it's going to defeat you. But if your reality, if when things get tough and you keep your reality and you keep your perspective and you perceive your reality as this, look, I may not be there yet, but I'm going to be there one day. Or I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be, right? So your reality is created by what you're perceiving as truth in your life. So if you're perceiving yourself as defeated, if you're perceiving yourself as powerless, if you're perceiving yourself as doubtful, if you're perceiving yourself as fearful, that's what your reality is that you're creating for yourself. So if you're going to speak things out of your mouth, and believe it or not, everything that comes out of our mouth forms our reality, right? things that come out of our mouth like, I can't do this, I don't know if I can handle this, I don't know if I'm ever going to get out of this. Those things are going to create your reality of your own reality, right? Because you definitely create your reality. So what you perceive as truth in your life, if you perceive true that you're going to be defeated, if you perceive as truth that you just can't do this, if you perceive as truth that you just can't make it happen, then that's your reality, and that's what you're going to live with. But you know what? Even when things are tough, even when things aren't going the way you want them to go, start perceiving things as positive and hopeful and encouraging. Start seeing it as, you know what? I may not be where I want to be right now, but I'm going to get there because I'm going to keep on going. Or, you know what? I'm not defeated because I still have a chance to change it. So don't be doubtful. Be positive. Don't be down and out. Be hopeful. So if you change your perception of your reality, if you change what you see as truth in your life right now, you're going to create your own reality, because that's what we do. We create our own reality by facts that we perceive as truth. Hey guys, I see you are on here today. Laborio and Karen. Hey guys. Sherry is on here. Who else? Karen, Sherry, Laborio. Hey guys, listen, I was just going on because I said every Friday I was going to go live with something called Freedom Friday. Every Friday I want to go on and help you guys get free from something in your life. Why? Because I had to go through this process as well. When I first started in real estate, I was so dysfunctional. My mind was just not where it should be. So I literally had to learn these things for about 4.5 years. I learned how to develop my mindset and change things in my life. And the most powerful thing that I learned that I never knew in my life was that I could change my own reality. I never knew that. I never realized that I could change my own reality. I never knew that reality was created. I always thought that reality was whatever I could see, touch, hear, smell, and feel, right? Reality, I always thought, was just whatever it was, right? No, we create our reality. We create our own personal reality through what we perceive as truth. And I had to learn that. And once I learned that, it really helped me take things to the next level in my life. Once I learned that reality is something that I created, once I learned that I had the power to create my own reality, that's when things started taking off in my life. Because you know what? You might be thinking to yourself right now, my reality is I am flat broke. I can't pay my mortgage. I don't know how I'm going to reality that you're creating for yourself. If that's the reality that you're telling yourself, guess what? You're going to be defeated and you're not going to make it. But if you turn it around and say, you know what, right now I am flat broke, but I'm working my way out of it. Right now I can't pay my mortgage, but I'm going to be able to pay it next month. If you start to get, if you really started to think of your reality as something that you create, you can change your reality. You can change what you're living through and how you're dealing with things. And I had to really learn that the hard way. And one thing that really led me to really know about this, like I had shared earlier in this live, was, one day I put on my child's headset. My son has this game where you put this headset on and it changes your virtual reality headset, right? So you put it on and all of a sudden things are different, right? All of a sudden, once you put on this virtual reality headset, you look around and you're really looking around and you're seeing that you're in a desert, or you're seeing an army coming against you and you're seeing enemy lines, and it's crazy. Like, you really feel like you're there because that's the reality that this thing is giving you, right? So all of a sudden, that fast, my reality changed from sitting in my living room to being on a battlefield. Like, it was crazy. And it's amazing. As soon as I took that headset off, all of a sudden now the facts that I was perceiving as truth was that I was right back in my living room again. So that fast, my personal reality changed. And that let me see that, you know what, yes, I can change my personal reality. And so can you guys. You guys can change how you perceive things in your life. You can change, and by doing that, by changing how you perceive things in your life, you can empower yourself and give yourself the power that you need to move forward. Because we all know that if we feel funky, if we feel defeated, then we get weak and we can't move forward and we're not creative. If you feel funky and defeated, you're not going to be creative to try to find a way out. Because once you feel that you're defeated, once you feel that there's no hope, or once you feel that your situation is never going to change, then you start to weaken yourself and your creativity stops. Definitely. Once you feel weak and defeated, then your creativity stops and your thinking of ways out stops, and you just start to lay down, play dead, and that's it. This is the hand I was dealt, and nothing gets better. Nothing changes. So once you just feel defeated and defunct, you get weak. But if you start empowering yourself by saying, you know what, I'm not defeated. I can do this. I got this. And start empowering yourself and being hopeful, you're going to gain strength. Your creativity is going to start flowing. Your mind's going to start looking for ways out. Your mind's going to start looking for things that you need to do to change your circumstance. That's what happens when we feel empowered. When we feel empowered and we feel strengthened, our mind starts to get creative and we start to see that there is a way out. Let me find it. Let me look this way. Let me look that way. You know what? Because once we feel empowered and encouraged, and you can even encourage and empower yourself, that's when we start to really find the way out of our circumstance. But if you feel defeated and defunct, you're going to feel weak and you're never going to change anything because you're just going to feel defeated. You're going to give up. You're going to sit back, and that's it. Nothing changes in your life. So I want to encourage you today to create your own reality today. I want you today to write down somewhere on a piece of paper. I want you to write down something encouraging to yourself, whether it be an encouraging word, an encouraging scripture, whatever it is that empowers you and makes you really feel like Superwoman or man, right? Something that empowers you. Write it down and put it somewhere where you can see it today. I don't care if you're driving, put it on your dashboard. Put it wherever you can see it. Start empowering yourself. Start embracing the fact that you can do anything, that you have the power inside of you to change your circumstance. You don't understand how incredibly powerful we are as human beings. You don't understand the resources we can find if we start thinking and if we start getting creative. So don't create your reality today as being, dysfunctional or down and out. Create your reality today as being encouraging and empowering. And a little trick that I learned along the way, and I'm gonna tell you is this. You're gonna think I'm crazy, right? A little trick that I learned. You want to feel empowered? If you stand up and you put your hands on your hips and your chest out like Superman, for some reason the chemicals get released in your body and you start to feel powerful. I know it sounds really crazy. Google the Superman pose. And I want to tell you, if you stand up, put your hands on your hips and stand there with your chest out and just feel it, you start to feel so empowered. It's crazy, but I'll do that in the middle of the day sometimes. If I feel dysfunctional or I feel things are getting funky, I'll just stand up, put my hands on my hips, stand there like Superman, and I'll start to feel, for some reason, it releases these endorphins in your mind, and you start to feel powerful and encouraged. I know it sounds crazy, but Google it. I'm telling you, it works. But I want you guys to really start, let's get motivated. Guys, come on, get out of the funk that you're in. Get out of the crazy thoughts that you're in that you can't do this. Get up today, get moving, get empowered, and start changing your reality. Because you can do this. You got this. I know you do. Okay, so I really want you to I want you to say, today is the day things change. Today is the day my reality changes. I want you to tell yourself that. I want you to feel that in your bones, that today is your breakthrough day. Today is the day that your breakthrough is happening today. So start today. Feel empowered and encouraged, and let's get this thing done. Let's get you to the next level. Let's get you over your boundaries, over your hump. I really want to see you do this because I know you can do this. So today is the day. Okay, where are we? Yes. Yes. Okay. There you go. Laborio's already starting. He says, I choose to live a vibrant and healthy life. Thank you, Laborio. Yes, every day I'm getting better and better. These are the things that empower you. Today is the day of my breakthrough. Today is the day that I create my own reality. I'm in charge of my life. I'm in charge of my reality. I'm the one that creates it. Take that power back and let yourself be, encouraged and empowered today. Start today. Make today the day that you move forward. Today is the day that your life changes. Today is the day that you are going to get up and you're going to take control of your life and you're going to start living life on your terms. And it all starts with creating your reality. And I know I get excited, but I want you to do this because I believe that you can do this. Okay. Karen, you got this. Laborio, you are awesome, dude. You're in here encouraging everybody. Thank you. I really want you guys to do it. I want you to choose life. I want you to choose success. I want you to choose to create a reality that's going to help you get through that finish line. Because if you are going to generate your reality and stay dysfunctional and think that you can't do it, then you can't do it. Just like Henry Ford said, you know what, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. It all goes according to our thought process. And one thing else I want to give you before we end, like Albert Einstein says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting to get different results. If what you're doing is not working, change it. If what you're doing is not creating what you want it to create, change it. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Change your strategy, change your mindset, and let's get it done. So, you guys, I just want to encourage you today. I love you guys, and today is Freedom Friday, so today I really want you to embrace the freedom in your life that you have. You are in total control. You are in control of your life, nobody else. Life isn't determined for you. You aren't dealt a certain hand of cards that you have to live with. You determine the outcome of your life. So you need to take control of it starting today. And I am behind you guys. I believe in you, and I know you got this.